If you're coming to pit road, the last thing you're looking at is anything but the commitment line. So I don't mind him being frustrated. I'd probably be frustrated too, but don't hate the player, hate the game type deal.
Welcome into NASCAR Film Room, folks. My name is Eric Estep, and I am joined by Brickyard 400 winner Corey Heim. Corey, congratulations, man. 2 wins in just 8 starts this season. I did some math for you, Corey. That's a 9-win pace. I'm just saying. Yeah. So, I mean, back up to January. Like, did you ever think something like this was possible this season?
I mean, the realistic answer is no. Our expectations were not to go out and win multiple races this year by any means, but based on how the season started for 2311 with Tyler absolutely hauling a mail, winning 5 of the first 9 or whatever he did, I knew that these things were at the very top of their game, and I feel like if I didn't take advantage of how fast the cars are, I feel like that would be a bit of a letdown. Not that we're, once again, trying to win races, but coming into this season, my best finish was 6th. Though my goal is to at least improve on that, or else I think that the season would be a bit of a letdown for me. So goals were, top 5s and just smooth, consistent races, and of course to build this year for what is my first full-time season next year. But as a race car driver, you don't get to experience or be in winning race cars on a weekly basis every year in your career, even if you're on the best team. Like you look at Hendrick this year, hate to pick on him, but they're undoubtedly in a bit of a down year. So even if you're on the best teams, like you not every year you're going to be dominant and have the best cars. So it just so happened that I've got a part-time season lined up with what is probably 2311's most successful season. So trying to capitalize on that and of course win as much as I can.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have done just that, to say the least. I mean, it is a part-time car. I thought it was interesting. Your crew chief, Booty Barker, said after the race that he feels if y'all fell better on the qualifying metric, he thinks you'd have more than 2 wins this season. So my next question is, what's it like working with Booty, and what's it like driving for a team that just seems to have full confidence in you?
Yeah, I mean, it's a mutual confidence. It's a good feeling to have a crew chief that you can go to the racetrack and just know that they know what they're doing, and you can be confident in their decision making and their strategy. Every time we go to the racetrack, I know that we have potential to be contenders if we can have a smooth day, and I think this definitely proved that.
Good stuff, Corey. Well, we're going to focus here on the final stage, those final couple of restarts, and you had to hold off a couple great race car drivers for 30-plus laps. We're going to get to that in a moment, but I'll start here. Were you aware of the 77 when he swerved down kind of as you're entering pit road, or did you just like, whoa, like what's going on there? Did you see him? How did that look from your seat?
To be honest with you, if you're coming to pit road and you are doing everything you possibly can to get the car slowed down, the last thing you're looking at is anything but the commitment line. So I did not see it. Complete full honesty on my side. I mean, I feel like even he should know that I'm not going to be looking around. I mean, I think that was more just to get some anger off his shoulders maybe on his side. But I think we all know that track position is key, and the pit cycle works out to, if you can keep guys behind you, it nets out as a gain. So I think he would have done the same thing. And I don't mind him being frustrated. I'd probably be frustrated too, but don't hate the player, hate the game type deal.
I agree with you there. It's Indianapolis is a track position track, especially in the NASCAR Cup Series today. And so that leads me to the final 2 restarts of this race. We'll start 42 laps to go. I'll pull up the clip here. Joey Logano is behind you. He pulls out to try and make it 3 wide, desperate for every position. You have to throw a block here. Just take me through what you saw, felt, heard in this moment, this close call.
Yeah, I was a little I wouldn't say like annoyed, but I was a little confused on this move. I felt like if he would have pushed me out in front of the 11, or at least I had some leverage on the 11, that would have made more sense. But the fact that we were like dead even into the corner, I don't think that had any opportunity other than to just check both of us up and let the 11 get clear, unless he were to make some contact with me and I shot up into the 11 or something. It just seemed like a little too late on his side. So I know we're all doing what we can, and it was a high-risk move, so I get it. But, looking at it on Monday morning, it just seems like that wasn't really necessary. But he made up for it on the next restart, which I'm sure we're about to watch. So,
yeah, great segue. Yeah, no, 34 laps to go. You two are nose to tail once again, this time in the outside lane. This time you're not the control car, though. So, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell firing first. but Joey helped you out this time, got you a great push clear of Hamlin into turn one. So what did you do? I want to ask you this. What did you do on this restart maybe to line up that push, to time things right? What was that like from your seat?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I was shocked that when the three JGR cars went to the bottom, I had no doubt in my mind that they were going to be pushing well. I mean, none of them, because if you have teammates lined up, they're more than likely not going to shuck you and try to go three wide. So
yeah,
I knew that there was just going to be like solid pushes, but sure enough, they ended up getting separated. And as you can see, Joey just did a great job staying locked on and never tried to go middle three or anything and push me clear. So, I was pretty surprised that Denny didn't get any help there. I thought it was going to be a brawl to get the lead, pretty low odds that I was going to come out in front. But I don't know what happened with those guys, but they just got all messed up. So, yeah, props to Joey for a good push. I was just kind of listening. My spotter, Eddie, went radio silent to allow me to listen to the exhaust of the 11. And I was kind of looking in my mirror to the 20 because you can sort of guess, like a lot of these times on restarts, the guy in the second row will sort of dictate when the first guy launches. So I'm really watching to see when Bell launches, because that's when Denny has to go, because that's when the push is coming. So as soon as Bell launches, I knew it was time to go. And I saw on my camera that Bell launched, so that's when I went, and it was just a really even restart.
Interesting. I didn't think about watching. You're basically watching the car behind you and at an angle. You never know. Yeah, that's super interesting to hear. Well, then after you were able to get clear into turn one, Denny did a great job kind of rolling the bottom, staying right on the curb. Had a run on you there through the short chute. You had to make a bold move. I'm just going to kind of ask you to keep asking you the same questions. Take me through what you saw, what you felt. How quickly did you have to react here?
I was really surprised that Denny got through there as good as he did, but looking at it, it makes sense. I mean, I didn't quite get to the curb. If I had shut his air off completely and gotten my left sides right on the curb, he wouldn't have been able to really even had an opportunity. But I drove in so deep just to get clear that I had overshot the corner and I couldn't quite get there. And at that time, you're already kind of throttling up trying to get off of turn two. So I just had to, I made my bed and I had to lay in it type deal. So I just throttled up. My spotter Eddie once again was on my butt about blocking him down that short chute, and of course that was going to be the race deciding move at that point. Whether it was another caution or not, I mean, you still get the advantage of being on the inside line in the next restart, which unlike the last two restarts we watched, the outside won both of them, but typically the inside would win. So yeah, it was a big deal to get that, and Denny did a great job. I mean, there's really nothing else he could have done. I had kind of dictated the outcome of that one more than anything. So props to my spotter Eddie for doing his job and making sure I got that block done. That was, of course, the winning move. So definitely a cool one to relive for sure.
Yeah, it's amazing how at a track like Indy where you're going nearly 200 miles per hour, it's 2.5 miles around. It's literally a game of inches to get that position on someone, and that's all it takes sometimes to make a winning pass or to hold off someone for in the winning position there. But your job wasn't over. Your job was not done despite having the clean air, despite having the track position. You were battling a loose race car, it sounded like, on that final run. Track position was your friend, but how do you keep your cool there when you have a guy like Christopher Bell? You know what he's got under the hood. You've seen him. He's won a ton of races. Joey Logano is starting to gain on you guys. He's won championships. Like, how do you keep – you're still fairly new at this, at the Cup Series level. So how are you keeping your nerves in check and just staying focused on the task at hand those final laps?
Really just – continue to remind myself that the priority was to just hit my apexes. Even if I had overslowed a corner or made a mistake in the middle of the corner, as long as my left sides were next to the curb and I shut his air off all the way, I had a pretty good shot at, having a successful corner and keeping that gap. But there was a few times he put some pressure on me, got close enough where I had to sacrifice my entry angle and kind of messed me up and got me out of my groove. So he really did everything he could. I mean, I watched his post-race interview, and he said it was going to take a big mistake, and that's pretty much what I was thinking. Like, I just had to avoid the big mistake. But yeah, I was driving it on the edge, man. It was everything I absolutely had. I got the right rear really hot there with like 10 to go, so I was bobbing and weaving, doing everything I possibly could to keep it under me. When you look at the SMT steering trace, I'm like turning right more than I am to the left. It's pretty crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, it's I had to fight a lot harder than San Diego. By the time Tyler wrecked out of that one, I had like 10 seconds, and I was just trying to not wreck at that point. But this one, Christopher definitely kept me really honest. So props to him. I knew he wasn't ever going to put me in a bad spot to wreck us both. I really enjoyed racing Christopher. Work with him a lot on the truck side. Anytime we get a chance to help each other out, we do it. So I knew I was in good hands with him, of course, and Joey was also faster at the end. So glad we can make it a little bit entertaining. I know the non-passing was a bit of a bust this weekend, but I'm just glad I was out in front when it ended.
Hey, you executed in some of these races. That's strictly what it comes down to, and you did a great job of that. It's good to know that you and Christopher have a good relationship, because I wondered, I'll show you one final clip here, Corey. I was wondering, when he did get this one, I think it was 3 to go, coming to 2 to go, he did get a little bit of a run on you this one time. I was a little surprised he shaded high and wasn't more aggressively trying to get to your inside, but I mean, were you looking in the mirror here? How did you handle this move from Christopher Bell?
Well, I was just really looking at my camera and making sure as soon as I saw his gap get close enough to when he was going to make that move, I made the move before he could. You can kind of see me in the middle of the track. I can see him approaching, and then as soon as he was going to make that move, I dove in down before he could do it. And I think that's just it's just what you got to do. I mean, he could have tried to get to my quarter panel, but he would have been probably up in the dirty stuff in turn 1 and lost a spot to Logano. So really all he could do was stay where he was at, or if he wanted to be really aggressive, he could have crossed under me at that point still and been like on the very bottom. But I still think Logano probably would have got us both for how much we would have had to check up. So, yeah, I mean, I could trust him to not do anything crazy. I knew he wasn't going to do anything extremely high risk to take us both out of it, and it was nice to not have someone kind of nuts like that behind me that was going to potentially do that. So that was a good feeling.
It's nice to have at least one less thing you have to worry about in those high-pressure moments like that. Well, Corey, congratulations. 2 wins on the season. That's incredible. Brickyard 400. That's amazing. Congratulations again. Appreciate you joining us here in the film room.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me today.